Word Within the Word, Unit 8. Bloom's taxonomy, named after the educational psychologist Benjamin Bloom, is a multi-tiered scale that classifies critical thinking into 6 specific categories. What might tax mean? Another name for holometabolism is complete metamorphism, which is when an insect develops through the 4 life stages. What might holo mean? Taxis means arrangement, while holo means whole. Some examples for taxis include taxonomy and syntax. Taxonomy was mentioned in the previous slide, but here's a visual of Bloom's taxonomy. Syntax is the way words are arranged to form sentences or phrases. Holo, some examples for those include holistic and holograph. Holistic is when you consider a person or a thing as a whole rather than as separate parts. So a holistic approach to something would be an example, thinking of it in a bigger picture. If myopia is the inability to clearly see things that are far away, and diplopia is seeing 2 images instead of 1, otherwise known as double vision, what does opia mean? If a flux is the flowing out of a particular substance or particle, and effluent is liquid waste or sewage discharged into a river or the sea, what does F mean? Well, opia means sight, F means out. Some examples for opia include hyperopia and biopsy. Hyperopia is farsightedness, when you have difficulty focusing on objects near you, and biopsy is removing cells or tissue from the body in order to examine them more closely, using the eye. F means out. We have efficacy and effusive. I'm going to go over effusive. That's an adjective. It means expressing feelings of gratitude, pleasure, or approval in an excited and heartfelt way. You could describe someone's welcome as effusive, really excited. Cost and jur. Cost relates to fire. Jur relates to this picture of a person in court. Cost means burn, while jur means swear. Some examples of cost include caustic and cauterize. Caustic means something that's able to be burned by chemical reaction. It could also mean very harsh and critical, like someone's attitude could be caustic. And cauterize means to burn something in order to destroy some type of infected tissue. Jur means to swear. Jury, you might be familiar with. Perjury, another example, is the offense of willfully telling an untruth in a court after having taken an oath. If effluvial describes something that is found in a river, and confluent means flowing or coming together, what does flu mean? If position is a verb that means to put or arrange something in a particular place or way, and deposit means to put or leave something in a particular place, what does pos mean? Flu means flow, pos means put. Some examples of flu include fluid and fluent. While I know you know what fluid means, fluent means to speak or write a particular language easily and accurately. It flows. In pos for put, we have depose and superimpose. This example in the picture is a superimposed picture, laying one thing over another, so both are still evident. So the picture of the child in the bubble, you can see both. Superimpose a picture. Mens means measure, and mund means world. Mend means measure, and mund means world. World in Spanish is mundo, so that's a way of remembering it. An example of mund in the word is mundane. Mundane is an adjective that means lacking interest or excitement, in other words, dull. It's difficult to see how world relates to that, so the more formal definition of mundane means of this earthly world rather than a heavenly or spiritual one. So that's what makes it mundane. Transmundane and intermundane both have something to do with reaching beyond or existing between different worlds. So beyond connects to trans, while between connects to inter. Some examples of mens include immense and dimension. Immense meaning extremely large or great, or measured that way, and dimension is the length, height, width, depth, or diameter or something. So the measurement of it. The athlete's motivation helped him to win the match and advance to the finals. What might mot mean? Nancy was troubled by her son's errant ways. She had hoped he would not be negatively influenced by his peers, but rather serve as a positive role model for his younger brothers and sisters. What might err mean? Mot means move, while err means wander. Some examples for mot include motivation, the reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way, something that moves you, and demote, to give someone a lower rank or less senior position, to move down. And some examples for error include errant, erratic, and error. How does that relate to wander? For erratic, think of unpredictable, not a regular pattern. And an error is a deviation from accuracy or correctness, a mistake. Deviation means to move away, so that connects to wander.